6 Coronation Street spoilers. Is time up for killer Stephen as a body is found from the 18th to the 22nd of September 2023? 1. The net closes in on Stephen as Leo's body is found. When Ronnie Bailey decides to start building work on a new site before completion of the purchase, his niece Dee Dee warns that he's taking a risk as he signs some forms. Later, though, Ed notices that the digger driver looks troubled, and he rushes over. Ronnie soon arrives to find Ed talking to Detective Craig Tinker, but when Ronnie peers into the hole that the digger was working on, we see that he's unearthed a dead body. At the same time, a loved-up Stephen and Jenny Connor are returning from Paris, and Jenny wants Stephen to move in Sharpish. Stephen is full of joy as he heads to work, until he hears that a body has been found on Ed and Ronnie's building site. Stephen masks his turmoil by fibbing that he has a migraine, and presses Ed for more details. Ed confirms it was a man's body that was found, and Stephen's heart sinks. Craig calls at the Rovers to tell Jenny that the body is that of Leo Tompkins. As Jenny reels from this news, is the game up for guilty Stephen? 2. Paul's new plan after huge shock. Summer Spellman hands Paul and Billy Mayhew a Polaroid camera for their stag do, explaining that phones are banned. Paul is thrilled, while Billy is taken aback by all the glitter and rainbows at the bistro. Paul, however, loves it, and his twin Gemma Winter Brown leads the drinking games as Billy starts to relax. But amid the festivities, Paul's mum Bernie Winter is visited by the police, who quiz her on a potential fraud investigation involving Shelley. At the station, Bernie insists that she was simply helping a young woman with MND by collecting her parcels. But the police have a bombshell for Bernie that leaves terminally ill Paul reeling, and as the week continues, we hear that Shelley has sadly passed away. Paul confides in Todd, as he implores the other man to keep quiet about his assisted dying plan. Paul then goes over Shelley's funeral arrangements with George, and explains that he's written some words about his friend that he'd like placed with her body. But as Paul mourns this loss, will he stick to his own plans? 3. Daisy confronts Ryan over secret work. Ryan gets a message from another Ovid subscriber, offering to pay extra for a live video. Then Carla Barlow reminds a reluctant Ryan that he's due to start work at Underworld. He starts off in packing, but when he receives a message on Ovids from a guy requesting a personal video, Ryan nips off to the toilet to send some nude pictures. But when another message tells him that only a live video will do, and they will pay £500, Ryan makes a decision. Will he agree? Peter Barlow soon wonders how Ryan will make a living, and Ryan assures him that his fitness videos are paying off already. With the ante now upped, Ryan agrees to a call where he talks dirty to the guy who messaged him. Peter overhears, and tells Carla that it's no wonder Ryan spends so much time in his room, as he heard him having phone sex. Daisy listens, unnerved, and later demands to know what Ryan is up to. Will he admit to everything? 4. Ed's gambling relapse. Ahead of that grim discovery of Leo's body, Ed is struggling when site manager Neil suggests they bet on when the digger will show up. Gathering to watch football at the pub, Ed is tempted when Neil then suggests they have a flutter on the winning team. As the week continues, Ed apologizes for snapping at Neil and explains he used to be a gambling addict. Then, after the chaos of the body being unearthed, Dee Dee breaks the news to Dad Ed and Uncle Ronnie that the investor has pulled out of the building project. Ronnie reckons they should cut their losses, but Ed is adamant that it's too late to pull out. As Ed later watches the horse racing alone, adrenaline pumping, will he relapse? 5. Courtney avoids grafting, or paying. After Dev Allahan insists that Courtney must pay her way, his son Ardy suggests that Courtney contributes to the household bills. Courtney is evasive in response, but will she agree, or is Dev right to be so wary after the way she's turned the Allahans' lives upside down? 6. Todd has a request for George. Todd and George are still at loggerheads next week. As Todd gets ready for work, George makes waspish remarks about rival undertakers Rest Easy, where Todd now works. When boss Troy tells Todd that he's promised a client a service they can't deliver, he orders him to break the bad news. Todd paints on a smile, but he's dreading it. When Todd eventually admits that Rest Easy isn't where he wants to be, Mary Taylor urges him to talk to George. So Todd finally asks George for his old job back, but relations are further strained between the pair. It quickly becomes clear that new recruit Lee is not cut out for the job, but neither Todd nor George want to admit it.
Các bạn vừa theo dõi một sản phẩm của OK Soát Spoiler. Trong video này, chúng tôi đã tiết lộ các bạn 14 tình tiết mới nhất bộ phim Extender sẽ diễn ra trong tuần tới từ ngày 10 đến ngày 13 tháng 4 năm 2023. Điều gì sẽ xảy ra ở Workforce? Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại các bạn ở video tiếp theo.